guys, it's Danielle here with the Bass Cast Kayak Series. I am here with the winner of our May month-long tournament, Stephen. Stephen, you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Well, I just started tournament fishing last season. I mainly fish with kayak fishing with Christ. I'm an ambassador there to them, and try to help plan trips and things. And just reaching out a little this year to other tournaments, and just seeing how I can compete with other local people.
Well, I would say you can compete with other local people pretty darn good, Stephen, because you ended up with 118.75 inches in our month-long tournament, which somebody actually said to me was like a record in Virginia. I don't know if that's true because I tried to Google it and I couldn't find any information. If somebody's got documentation on that, you let me know. But 118 inches is like unheard of. That's like that's Texas level is what we're talking about over here. What happened? How did this happen? Was this the biggest a month ever for you as well?
Oh, absolutely. I changed up a little bit of the way I fished, and just paid a little more attention. Last year, I took a lot of notes and just changed up some things. But really, it was just a blessing. It was unbelievable. Actually, in one day, I caught the 24 and 3/4. It weighed 8 pounds, 13 ounces. And the two other fish were over 7 pounds. And actually, on the ride home, I almost felt like I was doing something wrong, or it just didn't feel good to do that at first. And then, I started sort of singing the rest of the way home.
Yeah, I bet you did. You kind of feel like, oh my gosh, what just happened? I would imagine. So was that 24 and 3/4? Was that your personal best?
It absolutely was.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I mean, in a whole month, 118 inches, almost 119 inches worth of fish is incredible. I mean, that's just amazing. They're all of your fish were like 22, 23, 24 inches. So you definitely had a really good month. So let's talk a little bit about kind of how that worked for you. I'm not going to ask you where you fished. I know that's top secret, but let's talk a little bit about at least your style of fishing and what kind of baits were you throwing? What were the fish most receptive to? What time of day do you go? That kind of stuff.
Um, Generally, I fish plastic worms almost religiously. That's just my go-to. Actually, the way this worked out was I just accidentally casted a topwater lure. I was riding past some trees that were down and decided just to swing it behind the kayak, and that was a 23-inch fish. So that's again when I looked at water temperature, and it just hit about 77. It was 73 that morning, and I had casted a torpedo lure a while and didn't do anything. But it was like as soon as the water temperature hit 77, this top water lit up, and that continued through that whole week. I caught 6 fish, I think, that on between Monday and Wednesday, they were over 22 inches, and it was after the water temperature hit 77 degrees.
Okay.
So that was a big deal, and that's something that a good friend of mine that fishes bass boat tournaments and stuff had told me to do last year was write down water temperatures. The days I catch nice fish or a lot of fish, and so I did that, and that even proved to be last year. It was like 75, 76 degrees during this time of year, and it just lit up on top of the water.
Okay. So it was a lot of top water that you were catching them on, even
I
though you were
caught,
throwing your worms still, or you were using top
yeah,
water baits?
I would switch back and forth when I go, and then it was hard not to throw the frog. I caught all 5 of those bass on a frog, or at
Oh,
the top,
really?
2
Okay.
of them torpedo and 3 of them on a frog.
Okay. Just have to let that water warm up a little bit, I guess. So everybody listening, go get your frogs out. It's going to get warm here in a little bit. All right, Stephen says. So, Stephen, I'm looking at your stats here, and it's saying here on Turdy X that you have won 10 tournaments already this year. And these are just 2023 totals. It's only the 1st of June. You've won 10 tournaments already this year?
I've got to be maxed out here somewhere because it's a blessing. I'm telling you, it's really been a blessing.
Professional anglers don't do this well, Stephen. This is crazy pants. 12 top 10 finishes, 10 first place finishes. Although I did see that you were in several like month-long online tournaments at the same time during this time frame. So
Right.
it is nice when you can submit those same fish for multiple tournaments. So that worked out real well for you that you entered all of those. But you just said at the beginning, didn't you say that you've only been tournament fishing, like this is only your second season?
Yeah, this is my second year. I
I
started
mean,
last.
I knew this was only your second tournament with us, but your second season at all.
Yeah, this is my third year of kayak fishing and my second season of tournaments.
Okay. So how'd you get so good so fast?
I really have some good spots. I had a really good spot on the river, on the Appomattox River, and just had some guys at work say, "Dude, you need to start fishing tournaments." And I started hunting, and that's where I found kayak fishing with Christ, and that's been a blessing for me to be there anyway. I got baptized there at the national meetup last year, and I think I must have seen one of y'all's ads on there, and just last year, and just decided to enter one of the tournament with somebody else, and enjoyed that. Although I was having some trouble with pinched nerve and weren't wearing the proper PFD, and but I had a good month that month.
Yeah.
That was actually my best month until this month.
Sounds like we are a good luck charm, is what it sounds like to me. I'm just saying, it's a common denominator here. So, for somebody else who maybe enjoys fishing and is just, maybe their friends are telling them, man, you should tournament fish, and they're thinking about getting into it. Do you have any advice for somebody like that?
Absolutely do it. It's fun. It's hard work. My son, him and I went one of the days I caught one of the citations, I guess on that Monday, 2 Mondays ago. And when we got back, he was telling his sister, you wouldn't believe how hard dad works when he's fishing. And I do. I keep a lure in the water.
Okay.
Got one in my lap, one in my hands, and I'm just changing. Like I said, I generally use that plastic worm, and I did this year until that, as soon as that water temperature hits 77 degrees, it changes.
Okay. So now you said that, you've got some really good spots. And like I said, I'm not going to ask you where those are, but is there something specific that you look for that helps you identify, like, I think this is going to be a good spot?
During spawn, I like lily pads. After they come out of their spawn, I like laydowns. I like to see trees laying sideways, and that torpedo lure works good. Unless you hit the tree, then you get hung on it. So sometimes I switch to a frog if it looked really brushy. But I like the laydowns.
Yeah, I tend to catch trees more than I catch fish. That's why I direct tournaments. I don't fish in them. Well, Stephen, congratulations to you. This is a huge win. And I mean, also just, I'm so happy for you that you had such a great month and that this turned out to just be an exceptional experience for you. And we're so glad that you fished with us again. Thank you so much for coming back to Fish with the Basscast. We hope you'll join us again. And just a huge congratulations to you.
Yeah, thank you guys for putting on an awesome tournament and getting a good turnout. So thank you.
Thank you.